Once upon a time, in a world not so different from ours, there was a terrible disease called metabolic syndrome. And metabolic syndrome made the people fat and tired and their muscles weak. And there was no cure for this disease until one day a hero appeared. His name was Dr. Doan. And Dr. Doan was a warrior who specialized in helping people get rid of metabolic syndrome. His major weapon was something called therapeutic carbohydrate restriction and ketogenic metabolic therapy. These weapons were so powerful that once he unleashed them, metabolic syndrome had no chance. But let's start at the beginning. When Dr. Doan first encountered metabolic syndrome, it was so prevalent that almost everyone was affected by it. The land was filled with people who were tired all the time, whose muscles were weak and their bodies were filled with excess fat. They were also plagued by other ailments such as diabetes and high blood pressure, but these treatments only masked the symptoms of metabolic syndrome and did nothing to actually cure the disease. When Dr. Doan arrived on the scene, he saw all of these sick people and knew he had to do something to help them. So he developed a plan to defeat metabolic syndrome once and for all. His plan was based on the idea that the key to curing metabolic syndrome was to restrict carbohydrates and force the body to burn fat for energy instead. This approach was revolutionary because no one had ever tried it before. Everyone thought that carbohydrates were the main source of energy and that burning fat would be impossible. But Dr. Doan was not like the other warriors. He was a true expert in his field, and he knew that if he could restrict carbohydrates enough, the body would enter a state called ketosis, where it would start burning fat for energy. This process would ultimately lead to the destruction of metabolic syndrome. Dr. Doan's plan was simple but difficult to execute. He told the people that in order to cure metabolic syndrome, they needed to cut out most of the carbohydrates in their diet and replace them with fat. At first, this was really hard for them. They were used to eating lots of bread, pasta, and sugar, and giving up these foods was very painful. But as the weeks went on, they started to feel better. Their muscles became stronger, their bodies became more toned, and they had much more energy. They were so amazed at the results that they continued to follow Dr. Doan's plan even after they were cured. In the end, Dr. Doan was immensely victorious. He cured more people of metabolic syndrome than anyone else ever had. And he showed the world that therapeutic carbohydrate restriction and ketogenic metabolic therapy truly are the ultimate weapons against metabolic syndrome.